Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Sir Keir Starmer today vowed to take all necessary action to end Britain's riots crisis as cabinet ministers stepped up their efforts to combat the week-long chaos. The Prime Minister met with his senior team in Downing Street as they discussed moves to deploy a standing army of 6,000 specialist police to trouble hotspots. The government is also making an extra 500 prison places available as they look to swiftly bring far-right thugs to justice over the widespread outbreak of violence. Sir Keir told a cabinet meeting that the disorder in the wake of the Southport stabbing attack was not protest and needed to be treated as criminal activity. "We need to be calling it out for what it is," the PM told his government's most senior figures, as he condemned the shocking scenes. Sir Keir said, "When I went to Southport I spoke to police who described what it was like to attend the mass stabbing of little girls and then to be back on duty the next day in riot gear, having bricks thrown at them. This is something no one would have ever wanted to see, and we need to be calling it out for what it is. It is not protest. It is violent disorder and needs to be treated as such, as criminal activity. 99.9% of people across the country want their streets to be safe and to feel safe in their communities, and we will take all necessary action to bring the disorder to an end." A Downing Street readout of today's cabinet meeting also revealed how Sir Keir told his top ministers that those involved in the riots will feel the full force of the law. He also promised they would be subject to swift justice and said special duty public order officers are ready to be deployed across the country to tackle any emerging trouble. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper condemned the scenes of crime and thuggery at Liverpool Children's Library, mosques, supermarkets and hotels housing asylum seekers. She also spoke about the progress of a new national violent disorder program to bring together the best policing capabilities from across the country to share intelligence on the activity of violent groups. Attorney General Richard Hermer provided an update on the progress by the Crown Prosecution Service in charging offenders and said he looked towards potential court hearings at the end of the week. Technology Secretary Peter Kyle told fellow cabinet ministers about his recent meetings with social media bosses and said he had made clear their responsibility to stop the spread of hateful disinformation and incitement. Earlier, Justice Minister Heidi Alexander said 567 additional prison spaces would soon come into use. "We will make sure that anyone who is given a custodial sentence as a result of the riots and disorder, there will be a prison place waiting for them," she told BBC Radio 4's Today programme. Extra cells at HMP Stocken, Rutland, will be in use from next week, Ms. Alexander said, with plans also in place to use space at Cookham Wood Young Offender Institution in Kent for adult prisoners. She also revealed more detail about the planned standing army of police officers Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer announced yesterday afternoon. Ms. Alexander told Times Radio, "These are police officers who have had specialist training in dealing with public order offences. We had 4,000 available at the weekend. There will be another 2,000 available this week. It also means that police officers are able to be deployed in parts of the country where they are needed most." Elsewhere, she said courts could possibly begin sitting through the evening, the night, at weekends in order to swiftly prosecute rioters. The additional courts protocol, which was created in the aftermath of the 2011 riots, could be invoked in areas where police and prosecuting chiefs feel it is needed, the minister told LBC. The courts are now willing to consider any of those requests, according to Ms. Alexander. During her round of TV and radio interviews, Ms. Alexander warned thugs taking part in the riots they could face prison sentences of up to 10 years. She told ITV's Good Morning Britain, "Decisions about sentencing when these cases come to the courts will be for judges. But anyone watching our television screens and seeing the images that you and I have seen of this violent disorder, the racist attacks, the dangerous extremism, will realize that in all likelihood there are some very serious